Yeah, we hold Billy too there. Okay, Bill, come
Ladies
on
and gentlemen,
around.
please hold it quiet.
Okay, that's the shot.
What up, world? Thank you for ripping another ticket to Hellhound Film Club. I'm your host, Cody Pope, and this is my co-host,
Dymez.
and as I truly am every time we do this, I'm thrilled to introduce tonight's special feature.
Whoa. First things first. Tonight, we're live from the spot, Downtown Nashua, New Hampshire, one of Gate City's most interesting entertainment lounges featuring mocktails, coffee, kava, and more. Come check us out here for Hellhound Film Club Live, free movie night and podcast recording on Wednesday nights at 217 Main Street, Nashua, New Hampshire, when the doors open at 7 p.m.
That's right, every Wednesday. Now, for our special feature, we have the following selection. Be Kind, Rewind. Originally released on February 22nd, 2008, which is, of course, why we chose it for this week's episode. Just stop and imagine what this was like seeing this when this came out. Think of 2008. We were on the verge of video stores being on the way out. Blu-ray was a recent addition to the physical media landscape. Believe it or not, some people were still in late transition stage from VHS to DVD or whatnot. So the way that we consumed movies and the way that we consumed media was vastly different, but also on the precipice of major change. And so that's one of the things I think that's really important to reflect on throughout the course of this. But obviously, there's going to be spoilers. However, for anybody who hasn't seen the film, here is a brief synopsis that basically will just kind of let you know how to run into this thing. Danny, you want to tell them a little bit about, what we just watched?
Yeah. All right. So in Be Kind, Rewind, while attempting to sabotage the local power plant, freeloader Jerry accidentally becomes magnetized and wipes all the videos, VHSs, at the Be Kind, Rewind rental store. The store owner, Mr. Fletcher, is already facing foreclosure, and now the few customers he has had nothing to watch. When one of the regulars asked for Ghostbusters, acting manager Mike and Jerry cobbled together a 20-minute remake using old camcorder, which sets a chain of events. A chain of events is a nice way of putting that.
Yeah, that's an awesome way of putting that. So I guess first things, so obviously, I picked this, so I'm sure you could guess that I've seen this multiple times. This is definitely a Cody movie without a doubt. Had you guys seen this prior to tonight?
Yes, I had absolutely seen this prior to tonight. Been quite some time. There was a couple shockers that I forgot that were in this movie.
Yeah, this is definitely this one's definitely of its time for sure.
I will definitely save that for a little bit later in the podcast. But yes, I had definitely seen this. It was definitely a throwback that I had. Best way I could put this was a hidden gem I had forgotten about.
Right. And we have our good friend and friend of the podcast, filmmaker Tyler LaPlant, hanging out with us once again.
Joey's big reveal.
Joey's big reveal coming 2026. Was this your first time watching this, and what did you think about this?
Yeah, so first time watching Be Kind, Rewind. A lot of fun. It's definitely I give it a solid 3 out of 5. It's a little. Oh wait,
that was for the end.
Shit. Okay, all right.
We're at the end of the podcast, everybody. Good night.
Hold on. All right. Let's take this back. All right. So hey,
first time on the show.
Yeah, I'm thinking I like it a lot. I thought it was a lot of fun. A little rough around the edges, but no. As a first time watching it, first time viewer, I really enjoyed it. And I am also a big sucker for movies about filmmaking. or shows about filmmaking. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was really, really kitschy, really, it was a cute movie in a lot of ways.
It's the best movie about making
Feel like
movies.
feel like I just got like sunned by my parents. That was cute.
It was cute.
Good job. It was kind of kitschy of you. I love that you said that because I have like the same exact sentiment of I love movies about movies, or movies about filmmaking, movies about old Hollywood, movies about movie theaters back in the day. Like all of that stuff is like my wheelhouse. I could live in that. Like I guess it's like a very like almost like Sunset Boulevard kind of world
Yeah.
to live in, where it's like I just want to like crawl through the projector every day. But this definitely satiates that for me for sure.
I for me, this movie is, like I just said, it's one of the best movies about making movies.
Yeah.
It's like, to me, it's hysterical because when I was a young kid, like I grew up with the VHS, the big old camcorders,
Yep.
those home camcorders. Like you couldn't touch the camcorder, like can't get nowhere near it. But when you could, like when you finally did, like be able to like record your friends, like having a good time, doing like little skits. Like, I mean, I remember as a kid, like doing little skits like DuckTales and stuff like
Yeah.
that, like cartoons that I would remake, and like record. And it was just like kind of like living out the fantasy that you get to see on TV. And it's almost the same thing that they're doing in the movie. Every time they're remaking it, it's almost like they're living out, because Jerry's character eventually falls in love with the acting idea and like the stardom idea, and it was like real to him. It was like Hollywood. So it was really that make believe to that reality feeling.
Yeah. And it's funny you said something that like struck a chord with me about like that, like I wish I could remember the turn of phrase you used, but in regard to the like accessibility of like making films as a kid and stuff like that. And before I ever got into doing music, skateboarding was my life. And so many weekends was my friends and I making our own skate videos, and somebody would bust out, I guess it wasn't the VHS camera, it was more like the mini DV cameras.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But like somebody would have the mini DV camera, we'd go to the 3-stair behind the church that we weren't supposed to be at, or the school playground that we'd be kick flipping off stuff or whatever. And that was our whole world. We didn't think about how anybody was going to see it. We didn't think about what the end result was going to be. It was just that we just had to film ourselves skating and have this footage, and that was like our whole world. And so it's funny now to like look back as like an artist. I don't want to say like pretentious, I guess, to call myself an artist, but like a creative in multiple mediums or whatever. It's like it's interesting to look back and be like, man, I really like had the bug back then and was just trying to figure out how to get that out. And even now it's like music is obviously my life and like the thing that has like kept me going, but I think I'm still always looking for new ways to like get that bug out, and doing the show is obviously one of them, and booking live music for people sometimes is one of them. And so yeah, this definitely, I just can't say enough about how much this movie like scratches an itch for me in such a strong way, where it's like I just feel like, wow, like yeah.
I actually, okay, so yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like halfway through the movie I was a little like, all right, I didn't know if I found it like funny enough or like endearing enough. Like I didn't really know how I felt about it. But throughout the movie they get a lot of like kind of like street cred within their community, and everybody really loves the movies that they're making. And they get this whole neighborhood around them to make this final movie together. And something that really resonated with me is in a lot of ways it takes a village to make a movie. And like it takes so many people giving up their time and resources and energy. And it was really nice to see that, because like, you know, yeah, like obviously like within the movie, like nobody is a professional, and like that's you know, that's part of the charm, that's part of the appeal. But yeah, it was really nice. It's just a reminder of like, you know, why I got into doing what I'm doing, because like, you know, it takes a lot of people to do this, and it was really beautiful. You know, I really had a lot of fun with that.
One of the big takes for me from the movie was the ability to, throughout the entire movie, being able to use the resources that you have instead of complaining about the resources that you don't have. And instead of complaining about not having this, because they remade all those movies on budget, like the sequence when they were filming the Jackie Chan and they were showing the shots from above to like show the like the street height. They had the little kid like car mat underneath them, and like the kid like the like bad guy falling, and they have him like spinning on it, looking like he's falling like, you know, through the air. Like that's just like super creative. Like, and instead of being like, well, we can't do this shot because of this reason, we're gonna use what we have, we're gonna make it work. And I think that's like just a really weird like message in the movie that you could catch, that's like almost like that hidden like feel good message through the movie without even realizing that it's actually there. And that was something about the movie, and I think that's why I like the movie actually like resonates with me, because like that it's almost like a hidden message. And then by, like you're saying, like by using the resources that they had, which turned out to be the community, and then the community coming in and giving the resources, because at the end they ended up using the dry cleaners
Yeah.
for like clothing, so that was like their wardrobe. You know, it was just like weird, like the community comes together and then kind of like, these are the resources we have, and they still like made it work, like cutting the cardboard cutouts for the cars, like,
Which looked super dope, by the way.
yeah,
I love that. It was
looked a little too real for me. Like that was like,
Yeah, it was crazy.
damn.
It's fun. What's funny to me about, and this is like probably a weird statement, but this kind of circles back. So I don't. Oh, I guess it wasn't last. So a couple weeks back, I my letterboxed review that I covered on the episode was the movie that just came out on Netflix, where they're reenacting the making of Breathless. You know what I'm talking about?
I haven't heard of this one.
Oh my god, it was a great movie. I don't know why I can't think of the name right now, because it's of course, because I wanted to
Well, because you need it now.
yeah, it's not even that important, honestly. Breathless is more the important thing, but it was just funny that I just meant, Nouvelle Vague. So it's a Netflix movie, but it's made by Richard Linklater, and it's about the creation of the movie Breathless. And so I guess before I dive into this, are you guys familiar with Breathless?
No.
No, okay, no worries. So Breathless is Jean-Luc Godard. It was like the first film that he directed, and it's like considered one of the like the shining stars of the French New Wave. And as you get to learn about the making of it, one of the things that you come to learn is that like they shot it entirely like guerrilla style. They had no permits, and they also didn't really have like a full script. They had like a story outline, but then like as they got on location, they would start to figure out what the dialogue should be. And so it was like very innovative, but also very like DIY, kind of like, we're just going to make this how we can make it. And they obviously had like not a very large budget for that kind of movie. And so and the reason I bring it up is because when you talk to a lot of like, I don't know, like cinephile people or whatever you would call them, Breathless is like pretty up there in terms, and like I just like obviously like kind of like we were talking about with Kevin Smith. Like I just love creators that are like innovative and like independent and like are willing to sacrifice some of the like easier luxuries of comfort to have their creative integrity. And so this just felt like a funny parallel to me of like we're just going to make this film because we like want to and like need to make this. And it's not about learning filmmaking as much as it is about learning while you make film. And I think that's just such a cool thing where like now with all this technology and stuff that we have, it's almost like people should get out and try the thing, you know? Like I love that there's so many like tutorials on YouTube and things that you can study and learn, but like ultimately like all the knowledge you gather only matters if you learn how to apply it, and you only learn from failing oftentimes. So this is just one of those movies that like sparks the fucking dead water heater of my heart.
Well, it's funny that you said that, like the whole guerrilla style. There was a Jack Black interview about this movie, and he just wanted to work with Mos Def so bad that when the offer came across for an opportunity, he said yes without a script, without anything. He was like, send it. I don't care what it's about. I'm going to do it with you. So the whole like, you know what you're saying, like the guerrilla, just send it kind of style.
Yeah.
Like that's how this got born. And it was a,
Bless you.
like Jack Black was like, I just want to work with you, so let's send it. And the only thing that he regretted about this movie was that they never got to do any music together.
I know. Yeah,
Which is funny is because the director, Michel, is actually a drummer too.
yeah.
So,
And a lot of his portfolio is music videos.
Yeah.
With the exception of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, one of the most like fascinating movies. But
let's not forget the worst superhero movie of all time.
What's that?
Green Hornet.
Oh shit, he did Green Hornet.
Green Lantern is worse than Green Hornet.
Nah. Seth.
I don't know. I'm a little biased. I worked on Madam Web, so I gotta represent my shitty superhero movie a little bit. Thank you. But yeah, he did Green Hornet.
Yes.
Really?
Seth Rogen's Green Hornet.
Oh shit. Yeah, I never really saw that one. I don't know.
I didn't hate it.
I
Wasn't a fan. Sorry.
to kind of snowball.
And I have to agree, wasn't a fan of Green Lantern either.
The Green Lantern sucked, dude. Now they're making it like a True Detective show on HBO or something. That's gonna be the next thing. Yeah, James Gunn is doing like it's Green Lantern detective show, and it's kind of in the vein of like True Detective, kind of where it's like serious.
Let's not spread fake news.
No, this is not fake news. Look
I
it up,
know.
dude. All right. Sorry, we're getting sidetracked.
Wow.
Somebody give me a microphone. From what I understand, they're doing the Green Lantern Corps,
Okay.
which in the comic books is like, so basically throughout history, there's been numerous different Green Lanterns.
Correct.
Yeah.
Based on time and X, Y, and Z.
Okay,
And so Green Lantern Corps brings all of the different Green Lanterns together.
Right. There's multiple Green Lanterns
Yeah,
throughout
and
the
They can
Yeah.
go through the,
universe.
yeah.
they're all on the planet.
Yeah. And so though I really have no like equity in if that does well or not. But what I will say as a comic book fan is that I will look forward to seeing hopefully a good depiction of the Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
I'm excited.
I feel like that will be really cool. But I feel pretty comfortable saying that Green Lantern is the worst comic book movie of all time and not Green Hornet. I'm not like dying on a hill for Green Hornet. It's not like a great movie, but Green Lantern has got to be the worst.
The CGI is what kills that. Like,
Yeah,
legitimately
I
kills
just
that
can't
movie.
think of. I mean, I guess you could say maybe, what is it, X-Men Origins Wolverine? That's probably like up on that.
That's up there.
That's up there for sure, especially with their horrendous Deadpool take.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That was
Rewind.
really, yeah, let's rewind a bit.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I
Oh,
love I
rem-
love Sleep is Science. I enjoy Be Kind, Rewind. Eternal Sunshine is great. So, like, all directors have movies that somebody's gonna love or not. So, nothing wrong with that.
yeah. And I don't know, adaptations are weird. I don't want to go down that road, but that's a whole other thing. So you worked on Madam Web. Dude, that's wild. Yeah, so I think that my biggest takeaway from this is more than anything is like sentimentality. You know what I mean? Like there is such a feeling and such like a great story to it. You know what though? On like you know, because a lot of times I'm sure you guys have figured out if you watched other episodes, it's really fun to kind of dive into the nooks and crannies of these movies and like figure out how different things came together and figuring out like production tips and little behind the scenes stories. But this was like a pretty straightforward movie, and it's really about just like how much they did on probably such a small budget and how impactful that was, despite maybe not being like a huge like box office success or whatever. I just like I adore this movie, honestly. This is the kind of stuff that like gasses me up to be like, yeah, keep making shit.
I think this movie was a great representation of, you know, two best friends bond building into a love of doing something
Yeah.
that a community gets behind, helps support, with almost the undertone of the bureaucracy of how hard it is to get something creative to a finished product. Because like I thought it was funny. I thought it was kind of ironic because the first movie that they remake is Ghostbusters that has Sigourney Weaver in it, and
Yeah.
then she plays
Actually,
the bad person in the movie to like crush all their deep movies and stuff, and like, yeah, you owe us $3.15 billion in fines.
I know that was insane.
Yeah, a note about that because you see her like walking up, and it's very clearly Sigourney Weaver. And there's a solid like few minutes where, or not few minutes, few moments where I'm like, is she going to be like herself, like as like oh, like I saw that you were circulating my movie, like you know I'm suing you. Like I thought she was going to be playing like you know Sigourney Weaver, like yeah, like and her playing like the lawyer and then saying that he owed like what, like $300 billion.
Yeah, it was like something insane like
so
that.
there was an aspect about the plot of this movie that felt very much like an ABC like family sitcom type plot where it's like the bank's gonna foreclose on us unless we raise X amount of money. I mean, I don't know. That's the only that is one thing I will like kind of like clown on the movie about is like the plot is like a little like all right, like I don't know. It felt like a Saturday morning cartoon, but there was just so much charm and and that was like one of the things that was kind of nagging at me. But I think like at the end when the Sigourney Weaver's character is saying like 66 life sentences, like the ridiculousness of it won me over.
Yeah.
And I think I saw what they were trying to do, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. So like I don't know, for a while I was like kind of fighting against this movie, but the last third of it like really kind of turns it around, and it has such an inspiring and heartwarming message. Like
Yeah.
the sorry, I'm rambling, but the last thing I'll say about like this particular thing is like the line towards the end where he's like Jack Black is like, you know, is like, forget the other movies, like come out here and make your own movies. And something that's been a great bit of advice from my buddy Victor Herman is that like, you know, you want to make the movies that you want to see, like you want to make the music that you want to hear. And I think that is like, you know, you got to kind of like be your own inspiration in a way. And something about that is like, you know, very, I don't know, gets at my core for sure. I really, really enjoyed
Yeah.
that from this.
Well, and that's one of the things that I love about this, and it's interesting. And I guess I could see why too, because I certainly feel this way about other movies, but like the fact that you kind of had that resistance to like it being a more lighthearted plot. And I guess for me, it's like, well, how serious could you get about a video store movie?
Yeah.
You know, when you think about most video store movies, most of them are horror movies. You know what I mean? And they have to do with like taking things from a video store out into the real world.
Yeah.
And this is one of the rare movies that is about life inside the video store, which you would hope that like would be like, you know what I mean? If I had the pleasure of working at Blockbuster or Video Mat or Video Thunder or something like that as a kid, I imagine that it would have not been the most burdensome job. You know what I mean? It's like very relaxed, like easy. You're talking to people about movies, stocking shelves, like computers were very basic. Like, so I think that if you like tried to make it too complex or too deep of a story, you would lose people because it's just not, you know what I mean? You'd just be like, bro, this not nobody that works in a video store is living life this crazy. Like,
I was actually gonna say, when you told me about this movie, it's like, yeah, Jack Black works at a video rental store. I was expecting a very like by the books, like stoner comedy of like, you know, these guys like working at a video store and like, you know, I don't know, one of them wants to be a filmmaker, but like he never applies himself or something like that. And this went in a very different direction, and it kept me going the whole way. I thought it was a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't know. It was, don't get me wrong. I love, I mean, Pee-wee's Big Adventure is one of my favorite movies of all time. Like, I am not opposed to a lighthearted plot whatsoever. But yeah, I thought it was very, I said this before, I thought it was very cute, and I mean that in a nice, most sincere way possible. It's a sweet movie. It's a feel-good movie. Nice PG-13 for the whole family, except for the whole, you know, blackface bit, but you can skip through that if you want. I don't know.
I feel like you just saw me naked for the first time and you're like, wow, that's cute. Like, that's not quite the reaction I was hoping for, but okay.
I just think the plot in this was supposed to be more of like secondary thought, and it was supposed to be more about the comedy and the bond between the friends, because the plot part, like a lot of it made zero sense. I mean, climb over a fence, you throw a grappling hook, you go 5 feet in the air, you get electrocuted, and now you're magnetized. No, you should be the Flash or Electro or something.
I'm sorry, Jack Black is never going to be the Flash, no matter how many steroids you give that man.
I'm just saying, like, that's the kind of thing that should happen when you're electrocuted, not magnetized. I just didn't think, but that's what I mean. And then you just happen to walk in and touch every single movie that's available in the store. Like, I just think the plot was supposed to be like subtext behind, kind of like second thought.
Yeah.
Let's just make a funny movie. Let's have a good time.
Well, I think like the reality of it is the story has been done trillions of times. It's about the people, places, and things that make that story what it is. I do want to make a note here though, because when I made the comment before about, you know, this wasn't like, I was kind of, I think my words may have came out wrong when I kind of insinuated that this is largely like a story based thing. One, and there's probably other ones, but one moment from like a cinematography standpoint that I have to like shout out is that scene where they're kind of like going through making like the bulk of the movie.
Yes. Oh my god.
And it's like all of the different sets are it seems like they're all set up at once and the camera's just panning and spinning through like that had to have been the most well thought out and well executed
Absolutely.
scene in the film. Like
That
that
was a-
was so cool the way that they did that.
That was a great one take. Like the way they just shot that continuously.
That was my favorite scene in that. And I think that kind of like that was almost a bit of a flex to like, oh yeah, you thought this was like a simple movie? Well, check out this shot right here because I'm a real filmmaker. Like,
I think, yeah, right.
Go ahead, double fist him, love it. I dare
you. Okay, so it is. I don't think it's a one. I don't think it's a oneer. I think
You don't?
it's definitely no. Well, I think there's fun.
No.
There's definitely fun hitting cuts in there. But like, but no, I think that probably was my favorite section of the movie when it, because like I'm like, oh, are they gonna do like a fun montage? But then it was actually like this really super choreographed thing, and then I'm like, oh well, they're upping their game because like now they have more people working on it. Like, oh, this is really sick. Yeah, there was like, I don't know, there was the movie is like filmed in a pretty traditional way, like, you know, obviously the VHS segments are like, you know, purposely amateur, and it adds to the charm, and it's part of the world, it's part of the joke. But like that section just kicks so much ass, and it just like kind of comes out of nowhere because it's a pretty standard shot movie. Like it looks good, you know, like yeah, nothing like too out of the ordinary, and then it hits you with this like really really like pretty stylized segment, which was just like a real thrill to watch. Really enjoyed that.
What I liked about that section was because it was so beautifully shot, you're paying attention to it, but you're not paying attention to the scrolling names of movies on the side because your focus is in the middle. So like if you're paying attention in the whole entire screen, like that rundown of movies that they had up there. There was one that like we were watching, you both did it at the same time. You were like, Gummo.
Yeah, what was the other one?
I was just like,
oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. There was a couple that were like that really that was definitely the craziest one on that list. And it's funny because Gummo actually just recently entered the Criterion collection.
oh,
Yep.
that's funny.
I got it on 4K recently.
That's funny.
What a while. That's another one. I don't really know if I could screen that here, but that's a crazy movie. Really? Maybe we'll have to do a little private screening at some point. I don't know if I have. Tell me about it quickly.
Okay, sorry. Celebration is like the first official Dogma 95 movie, and it's about this guy who rich family all go to this like big 60th birthday party of like the patriarch of the family, and the son reveals that the father's been doing some bad stuff, and it just derails the entire visit. But it's like it's hilarious, and it's sad, and it's charming, and it's beautiful, and it's disgusting, but it's incredible. It's a really great movie. It's great. I love it. Celebration.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I haven't seen it, but I watched like one of those like YouTube things of like these crazy films that you've never seen, and like just seeing the shots that they picked from that was like, oh, this is, I could tell I was like, it was like one of those movies where it's like my chest is going to be tight and I'm going to be like sorely uncomfortable watching this movie. And I don't always like that, but I like the power to be able to do that. And so I like to pick times to watch those movies like that.
It's more inviting than you would think, honestly. Like it's a lot funnier, and it's like if you've ever had any sort of major like dysfunction in your family, like it's something that you can relate to in a lot of ways. But yeah. All right. I keep derailing this podcast. I'm sorry.
Derailing. I don't know about that.
Here we were about to hire you as our third co-host, and you can't even keep the train on the tracks.
We can't do that ourselves.
I know, yeah, I was to say I have to do this twice a week, so I run out of gas sometimes.
Yeah, twice a week.
By the time it's funny, you guys don't even realize when you're watching this, but by the time we get to recording this podcast, Danny's driven 2 hours. I've driven through most of the day. We've spent a good hour or two setting up the projector and all the podcast stuff. Then we actually watch the movie that we're talking about. So it's a good 6 to 8 hour day before we jump
It's
on
a full
here.
work day
Yeah.
just for this.
Yeah. So yeah, that's where I'm at, guys.
But I love doing it, and I'll
Yeah.
keep on doing it.
Honestly, yeah, this was the best idea I ever had for myself to give myself an excuse to watch more movies than I already do. Because I watch a ton of movies, but I don't have anybody to talk to them about. My beautiful, lovely fiance sees most of them with me, so she doesn't want to hear me ramble about them all the time after the fact. Babe,
Well,
did you know that when they were filming this scene, originally what was planned, it's like, cool,
well, you know what?
awesome.
I have to agree with you because I'm a single guy and my dogs don't want to hear me talk about movies.
Exactly.
There's points where they just leave the room.
Exactly.
Pretty, blatant about it. Like, I'm done with this. Out the door they go.
I've asked my cat countless times not to walk out during the middle of the movie.
Nope.
And still does.
Yep.
Rude.
I was gonna say I think my major sin is I like to rewind either a scene or something specific, and I'll do that when I'm watching something alone. I can do it as much as I want. And It's
Yeah.
fine. But sometimes I'll be watching something with either a friend or my girlfriend, and I'm I give almost puppy dog eyes. And I'm sorry. I'm can I please rewind? I really just want to see that again. I don't know. I was watching a Spike Lee movie, and I think I was super stoned, and I rewind to watch this jib shot three times. I'm holy shit, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And I don't know. I can't help myself from doing that. So we all can be annoying at the movies. It's great.
Exactly. It's all out of love, hopefully.
That's why I can't listen to new music with people, because I got to rewind that line and I got to hear that bar again, or I got to hear that beat again. And people are like, I'm trying to hear the whole song. And I'm like, I don't care. I want to
Yeah.
hear that line again.
I'm with you guys, but I feel like when it comes to a first time of something, I need the whole meal.
Oh yeah.
If I'm watching a movie for the first time, I would almost, and this maybe sounds crazy, but I'm sure if you guys have ever hung out with me, you've probably seen or noticed, or if you've even watched one of these episodes, but I always have a notebook of some sort. And so watching movies, it's I would rather take note of something and then go back to it after I got the whole context of the thing.
Yep.
Than to disrupt my first time consuming it.
This is definitely a second watch through tradition.
Yeah, and that's cool. If you didn't hear that on the mic, he was saying that's a second watch through tradition.
Yeah, always.
My first watch too, I'm just too lazy to hit the pause button.
That's definitely fair.
But if I'm watching a second time, oh, you better be prepared, because I'm gonna dissect. I'm gonna rewind, because I'm gonna catch something in the background that shouldn't have been there for absolutely no reason.
Yeah.
And then somebody's gonna be like, their first time watching it with me, and now I'm pausing it on them. Or I'm like, hey, did you see that? And they're like, no. First time watching it. Of course I didn't see it.
Right. So this is an interesting one. We're at this point in the program, I feel, because normally this kind of leans one way, but I feel like the theme of this kind of leads another way. Maybe I don't want to lead you guys either way, but to anybody who is seeing this for the first time and they had the opportunity to see this in any format, in any size, or whatever the capacity, any group of people, whatever the case may be, what would your perfect first viewing of this be like?
Home. Chilling at home. Good snacks, good company, relaxed, chilled. I just feel like this is a good home, relaxed, chilled in your pajamas type of movie. The comedy is just enough comedy to be funny, just enough action to be action, Like, I just don't think that anything is over the top where it's like, oh, I gotta see this in the theater. Like, I need, like, the score in it wasn't like this heartfelt pounding score.
Yeah,
where
it's
I
not
need
like
this-
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, it's just a good feel movie that you can watch over and over again, chilling at home. It's like one of those movies to me that, like, if you just happen to see it on like TBS or TNT, you know, like on TV, it's like a movie that you can jump into the middle of and be comfortable watching the back half of the movie,
Yeah.
you know, and enjoy yourself still. But to me, it's like a home movie. Like,
I dig that.
I think you know, a lot of the times when my film friends and I all get together, or there's a party or something, somebody will throw something on like in the background, and I think this could very much be a movie that, like, you know, a lot of drunk grips are sitting around watching and laughing and being like, oh yeah, you know, I used to do shit like that in college, and you know, I'm kidding. Grips don't have any education. We don't go to college. But yeah, I think, you know, surrounded with other creatives would be a fun way to watch this. Another fun, like, group setting movie for sure. Yeah, but I also agree with you. Nice relaxing at home vibe is also very applicable for something like this.
I definitely agree with you guys. And I know this is going to sound cliche, but this is, I guess, what I would call like a perfect blockbuster night movie.
Yeah,
Where it's like,
yeah,
I want like my fiance and two of my friends to hop in a car with me, go to Pizza Hut, pick up a pizza, go to Blockbuster, rent this, and then go back to the house, and like two people are sitting on the floor in beanbag chairs, and me and the old lady are on the couch, and we're watching the movie, just hanging out, enjoying God's green grass, and having a 90s Friday night. That's really like how this makes me feel in all the best ways imaginable.
oh, absolutely. I agree with the exact word that you just said, the blockbuster night.
Yeah.
Like,
But shout out to all the indie mom and pop video stores too.
oh, absolutely.
I was lucky to live in a city that had Blockbuster, Video Mat, and Video Thunder. So I lived on a street with Blockbuster, so I naturally frequented that a lot. But eventually a Video Mat opened up on my street as well. And then here in downtown Nashua, we had Video Thunder for over 20 or 30 years.
What was the name of the place on? You remember where Chow's Pizza was on Exit 8 across from the 7-Eleven, and like near Nashua Community College? There was a video rental store over in that plaza. Do you remember the name of that one at all?
I believe that was a Video Mat, if I remember correctly. So we had a Video Mat on Spitbrook Road, which was in the Sky Market Plaza. Then there was another Video Mat on Exit 7,
Yep.
where there's like a Shell station across the street, and it's like a Social Security building or something. And so I think that must have been either
And then the Blockbuster is where like Applebee's kind of is in Nashua.
so Blockbuster is where I forget, I think it's a nail salon, but where Panera Bread.
Okay.
We're Panera Bread in South Nashua, like right by the
Yeah,
mall.
but there was one.
There was another Blockbuster, which I think
It was in Somerset Plaza.
I think you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
where the
That was one we
Applebee's and
would
all
go.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I bet you. Yeah.
We were blessed here.
Yeah, dude. And then there was there was a Video Thunder right up the street in the like Shaw's Plaza, and I want to say there was another Video Thunder, so maybe that's what the Amherst Street one was, the other Video Thunder too. But like, yeah, we were blessed to like grow up in that time where that was like a thing you could do and have it mean like so much. Tell me you're about to bust out the video rental card right now.
No, I am. I gotta.
Yes, dude.
this for the camera.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Blockbuster.
So-
2007.
So I gotta say this.
That's when mine's from too. I'm like wondering if I actually have it on me.
So it's funny that you guys bust out those cards because
Yeah, 379 Amherst Street.
Oh, hell yeah.
funny that you guys you're busting that card out because at one point in my life I was the guy that scanned that card.
Oh, Dude, you worked at
I worked at a Blockbuster.
That's awesome.
So when you guys are talking about here, like going and renting movies, I used to work there where we got free rentals every single week. And this is what created my movie passion, because eventually you run out of the new stuff to watch.
Yeah.
So you start going backwards in the catalog.
Oh, nice. Dude.
Oh, wow. Damn.
Nice.
I feel like if
What
I've
year is yours?
Mine was Spitbrook Road. Mine was 2007.
Oh shit.
No, I'm telling you, I'll go home and I'm sure I have an old wallet somewhere. I'm gonna pull a card out from like 1999.
Don't ever lose them.
I'll be in a music
That's how you know I'm official tissue though. I've been about this movie life.
Actually, hold on.
But yeah,
I was gonna say, I remember I found it in one of my mom's old wallets, and I looked at her. I'm like, "Oh, can I please keep this?" This was in like middle school, because like my grandparents had just gotten me my wallet, and it's the same wallet I still have now, and it's being like held together with gaff tape. But anyway, I just wanted like cards to have in my wallet, and I thought it was like a fun thing to have to whip out. And every single time I bring it out, somebody's impressed. So
Yeah,
you know,
they really
I'll
are.
take it. It's
I'm gonna like hold on to that for the rest of my life, hopefully.
even though like Blockbuster like did kill like the family video rental store.
Yeah, they
but,
definitely
you know-
weren't, they definitely weren't all great, right? And It's
Yeah.
funny, Danny and I were talking about this too, because I was like, that's obviously a Blockbuster shirt, and part of
Yeah.
me was like, oh, I want to wear it. Like I have a Blockbuster hoodie and stuff too. And for some people, locationally or proximity wise, you had a Blockbuster and that was it.
Yeah.
Some people, however, only had a mom and pop, or they had the choice. And
Right.
so I think it's easier for me to not feel so much guilt about the affinity. The affinity for Blockbuster is kind of the affinity for video store culture.
No, absolutely.
The same way that we say Kleenex, like, do you have a Kleenex instead of do you have nostril tissue paper or whatever?
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Hopefully yours has changed, so we'll go to you last. But as always, we like to do our letterboxed ranking at the end of the night. And so Mr. Danny Dymez, we'll start with you. What would you give this out of 5 stars?
3.5.
3.5. All right, I'll take it. I think that's fair. That's respectable.
I think it's like I said before, I'm basically beating the same thing right into the bush, that it is a good movie. It's something that is enjoyable, that you can watch over, that has a value of rewatching, and that you can just throw on.
Yeah.
But it's not a movie that changed cinema or changed, like, you know what I mean? But it's
Unless it inspired a filmmaker.
could have. You're 100%. But at the same time, it's not like it's not garbage in any way. Like,
Yeah.
not at all. So it's an enjoyable movie. It has just enough comedy, enough action to kind of just keep you right there, but it's not over the top in any category, but it's
Yeah.
still a great, enjoyable movie. I could watch this again tomorrow.
That's
Probably
fair.
will after I get my teeth pulled.
Right? What do you think,
Still at
champ?
3, sir? We still at a 3?
We're still at a hard 3 out of 5.
Oh,
And
okay.
I had
All
time
right.
to mull it over. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna get at it. I'm
Oh, we got them all over.
so I'm gonna hit with my negatives first, and then
Oof.
I'm gonna get into what I love about this movie
All right.
in a brief fashion. So honestly, I didn't love what Mos Def.
Yasiin Bey, formerly known as Mos Def.
Yeah, so I'm young, so I'm sorry guys. I'm not super familiar with this guy. However,
Every week with the I'm young.
yeah, I can't help it. But I don't there are times that he does really well in other scenes. I didn't care for his performance. I think he's not the strongest actor, at least in this role. I know he's been in a lot of other stuff.
Tyler's never listened to Black on Both Sides, you can tell.
I'm sorry, I haven't. But I also think they're like, I don't know, there's the way that like the two main characters like really dislike each other at the very beginning. Like it makes their like relationship very like hard to believe for like the first third of the movie. But then this is where I get into the positives. the making of like the remade movies or Swede movies, as they put it, Sweden movies is it is so charming. It's so fun. Jack Black like really does steal the show in like every scene that he's in. I think that he's like really like the big like laugh factor in this movie. And also, I think the very inspiring message: just go out there and make stuff with your friends and show it to your friends, and really start your own like community is really big. But I think 3 out of 5 is a good score. And I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it.
That's fair. That's
Don't
fair.
hate it.
Yeah.
Don't hate it.
What about you?
Well, I'll definitely have my entire
Oh yeah.
Letterboxd review up on Letterboxd after this. But what I will say is, I think I use this term very loosely, but from like a professional review standpoint, I would say 3.5. But I think going fully just personal, I would say 4. 3.5 is like realistic of what the movie provided me. 4 is because of what I get from it. Like, and that's why it's like personally, I would say 4 because of how much it does for me, but being realistic and like assessing it from like a hopefully not too biased of a standpoint, I think it's like a 3.5 movie. It doesn't give you anything to like raise your expectations on. And so it exceeded all of my expectations and it kept me laughing throughout. And it took a modest budget and did a lot with it in a short amount of time. And I think that, like, what more could you ask from a movie of that caliber? So I'm going to have to, like, think about what I'm going to say in my review. But definitely at least a 3.5 for sure. And as we always mention, if you guys are into the movie review portion of the show, if you want to read all of the reviews, not only do I review everything we do here on Hellhound Film Club, but I also review everything that I watch in general because I'm a fucking nerd. And so you should get on Letterboxd, nerd out with me, follow your favorite directors and actors, and see what it's all about. All right, and we're going to do our final closing segments here. We're going to run through some screenings and event listings. We only have 2 right now, but we're going to be adding more to the list. And if you guys have any, please shoot us an email at hellhoundfilmclub@gmail.com. Wherever you are at in the world, we would be happy to promote your independent film screenings and the like. For some stuff that's coming up in our area, I just caught wind of this today, so I'm going to add some more information and keep promoting this over the next few weeks. But March 18th through the 22nd is the Boston Underground Film Festival, which is going to be at the Brattle Theater and the Coolidge Corner Theater, 2 of our favorite theaters you're going to hear us mention again. But there's still some time to submit. I believe all of the info is on Instagram and their website, Boston Underground Film Festival, Buff, BUFF. So definitely check that out, get a ticket, support independent filmmakers, and I imagine that's going to be a pretty crazy one. And we have another screening that we should mention too, right, Danny?
Yeah, that actually sounds really exciting, that Boston Underground. But on Tuesday, March 24th, we've got One Battle After Another presented by Nashua Public Library at the NPL Theater in Nashua, New Hampshire, featuring an all-star cast, including Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro,
Nailed it,
and more. One Battle After Another from filmmaker Paul Thomas Anderson is about when their enemy resurface after 16 years. A group of ex-revolutionaries reunite to rescue the daughter of one of their own.
And as always, we love to shout out our independent theaters and some of the places that have given us the most warm feelings. And so, as we mentioned, a big shout out to the Coolidge Corner Cinema in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Big shout out to the Brattle Theater in that area as well. Much love to the Wilton Town Hall Theater in Wilton, New Hampshire. And lastly, New Hampshire Film Festival is going to be coming up October 15th through the 18th throughout downtown Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Submissions are open now. For more info on that, visit nhfilmfestival.com. And as we mentioned before, anything that you have that you want us to promote, if it's a film screening or anything of the like, please keep us in the loop at hellhoundfilmclub.com. We're going to run through our recommended podcasts real quick. These ones are the ones that we've been covering the last couple weeks. Every time that we leave here, Danny has a 2-hour drive home, and so he soaks up all this deep cinema podcast knowledge while he's on his ride, and is becoming a bigger and bigger fan as weeks go on.
It helps keeps me awake, man.
Yeah.
Knowledge and awake is safe thing at that late at night.
So eventually he's going to run out of episodes. One Handshake Away only has like 12 episodes or something like that. So You Must Remember This will last you a long time, though. I love that one. So real quick, You Must Remember This, hosted by Karina Longworth, themed seasons of intricately researched podcasts about the secret and or forgotten histories of Hollywood's first century. The next one we have is Joe and Ronan Talk Movies. Stand-up comedians Joe List and Ronan Hirschberg do, as the title implies, and talk about movies. They have hilarious takes on classics and some of the unexpected alike. One cool thing that I did discover from that is the TCM cruise. Have you guys ever heard of that? Dude, Turner Classic
View.
They do a cruise every year. That's like a week-long thing, and it's all just watching movies and on a cruise ship.
First of all, I've never been on a cruise in my life.
Neither have I.
And this sounds like a phenomenal cruise.
Dude, doesn't that? Yeah, that sounds like one of the most fun things
all
ever.
it has to do is
I think it leaves out of Florida and goes
if it
must be to some island or something like that.
If it was a smoking cruise too,
right? Dude, for real.
I'd be in trouble.
I mean, honestly, like it's probably a lot of older people, so I doubt they would care. But
it's getting it on the boat is the problem.
Yeah, that's true. But I learned about that from Joe List of all people.
Oh, no kidding. Well, thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Yeah. I just learned about it myself.
And as we mentioned, one of my favorite pieces of podcasting that I've ever listened to, One Handshake Away, hosted by cinema icon Peter Bogdanovich shortly before his passing. One Handshake Away is a collection of unprecedented long-form conversations with some of the most acclaimed directors working today. Quentin Tarantino, Ken Burns, Greta Gerwig, and others pay homage to the influence of the directorial legends of the past, bringing listeners one handshake away from the icons of Hollywood's past and present. So like I said, hit us up at hellhoundfilmclub@gmail.com. Send us your podcast recommendations. Send us your screenings, your indie film trailers, whatever you got going on. If you have a trailer for a movie coming up and you want to send it to us and we dig it and you want to give us permission, we'll play your trailer in the commercial break of the show if you got it. So let's work together to keep building the film community up. I can't say enough about how grateful I am for all the things that cinema has done and inspired, and how much film has done for my life, and how happy movies make me. And so
help us help you, help us help you.
This podcast.
Tell it. Yeah, right. He's looking up One Handshake Away right now.
Dude, this is actually kind of nuts. I feel like hypocritical because I'm on this show every other week, but like I really don't watch a lot of podcasts. Usually not my thing, but this looks really interesting.
It's hard not, as a movie fan. It is hard not to want to watch it.
Yeah, I know. I saw this one, Greta Gerwig and Howard Hanks and Ryan Johnson, Orson Welles. Like, it's a weird collaboration. I love that.
Well, no. So what it is?
It's like old footage, or
no? It's Peter Bogdanovich talking to Ryan John. It's Peter Bogdanovich talking to Ryan Johnson about Orson Welles.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
That's why it's famous. Famous directors talking about famous directors.
Yeah,
that inspired.
Crazy.
Got you. Oh, that's fucking sick. Wes Anderson, Noah Baumbach. That one's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. And obviously, this isn't like a spoiler, but Peter Bogdanovich passed away during.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah, so Guillermo del Toro
Yeah,
takes over,
takes
which
over.
like does a phenomenal job as well. But yeah, so that's the thing. Like we love doing this podcast thing. We hope you continue to rock with us. Please support us. Big thing you could do to help us out would be consider subscribing to us on Patreon, patreon.com/Hellhound Publishing. You can join for $1, and we've been on Patreon since 2018. So for $1 a month, you can join Patreon and get access to literally over 5, 6, 7, 8 years, something like that, whatever the math is. We've been putting out stuff. Some stuff is only on Patreon. There's stuff that comes out on Patreon before it comes out anywhere else. There's exclusives, premieres, interviews, all sorts of cool stuff on there. And as we get a bigger audience over there, we're going to generate more content over there. We've been really lucky to have like a great support system on Patreon since we started, but we're really looking to grow it. The more that we grow the community, the more it's going to provide us resources to kind of make this a better show for you guys as well, and to allow us to keep doing these free event screenings here at the Spot, which you guys can come to Nashua, New Hampshire. Every Wednesday night, we host these free movie screenings right here at the Spot, 217 Main Street, downtown Nashua, New Hampshire. You can come and watch the movies that we're going to talk about on the podcast and then be a part of the show with us and have your voice be heard and have fun meeting people who just want to talk about movies. So this has been another great one, guys. Thank you so much. Tyler,
Been
thank you
great
again
show.
for joining
Great
us.
up.
Make sure you guys check out Joey's Big Reveal on all social media platforms. Debut short film is going to be coming out soon, written and directed by Tyler LaPlant. Like we said last week, we've had the pleasure of checking out a rough cut, and there's even been more to it since then. So
I'm pretty sure there's a Patreon episode we're talking about, so you might want to subscribe to that Patreon.
it's a good point. And maybe you'll see a trailer for Joey's Big Reveal on here soon too. The world may never know. But make sure you're following Tyler. Make sure you're following Joey's Big Reveal on Instagram and other platforms. Make sure you check out the fundraiser. All of that is linked through Joey's Big Reveal on Instagram. And anywhere else that you want to plug?
Yeah, Imposter Syndrome on YouTube, show IDP'd, and Imposter Syndrome Season 2 coming in like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And yeah, Joey's Big Reveal going to be a lot of fun. And I don't know, like May, hopefully doing a May premiere, and we will be doing a premiere here at the Spot and doing a showing here for Cody's podcast as well. So, TBD, few months to go, but we're going to get there. Thank you so much for the shout out, man. I appreciate you.
Appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here, man. Always a pleasure to have you.
Build up the hype, get everything going. Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. As we always mention, if you want to grab some CDs, if you want to grab merch, if you want to grab tickets to shows, I'm going to be doing shows all through the end of March into the end of April. I'll be all throughout the Northeast. I've got dates in Providence, in Manchester, New Hampshire, Burlington, Vermont, all sorts of stuff that we're going to be dropping soon. You can see all the dates over at cody-pope.com. Grab some merch. We're going to be restocking soon. Join us on Patreon. Hellhound Publishing is the world. And don't forget the popcorn. Much love, everybody.